Mm. Welcome, everyone. It's your brother Yisrael Yeshombiyah. Today, here on Intelligent Voices Israelites, we'll be having a great discussion, a good sharing of studies between Babylon and Baal. So, get your drinks, get everything you need, everyone. I'm going to spend some time on the two topics. But before we start, I'd like to let's pray before we go into study, because this information here will be putting together a lot of great pieces together in your study to allow you to benefit from this knowledge that comes from my father Yisrael Yeshombiyah, which is Yah, me, and one, and my spirit and his spirit is one. So as I bear witness to this wisdom, let's go into prayer. Give everybody a moment. Almighty God, Father, yeah, may you continue to guide me and my Israelite brothers and sisters into this wisdom of knowledge, keeping us strong, allowing balance to be gained in our minds, from our hearts, with the truth of the spirit of Yeshua, loving him with our whole heart and spirit, allowing the understanding to become one with us at all times, blessing everyone who we are around, who is willing to listen and to learn, to be fat, to be faithful, available, and teachable. In Yeshua's name, we give thanks for today's discussion. Shalom. Amen. So, when we look at or hear the word Babylon, we know that it is referred to as the ancient Babylon of the days of Abraham, and we're also looking at the Babylon of the Egyptians, and we are also looking at the Babylon of the modern day times. So today we will be going into our time machine, so to speak, and it will take us first to our past. Then we will gradually come up, everyone, to our present. And then what you will discover so much about the future. Now, many times when brothers and sisters have taught on this, which have been very grateful, but here it is, today's message will be actually all of that puzzle and glue coming together to form a picture. So that way you can see how well you have traveled from the past to the present and now being ready for this future. We also know that we will be doing a video pretty soon, as we have said, called Alert, 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 warnings to you, which will be actually giving the complete plan of the beast. Now, I have been informed by my father that there was going to be a release of the name of these four. But here it is, one is dragon. So here it is. We were going to give the name, but that is now being held back. But I am told that I can give the description. So in this video, we'll be giving the description, not in this one, but the one that is to come, because I know many of you have been emailing us and also looking out for that video. And so keep watch. Make sure that you subscribe, everyone who actually have found our videos, have taken a little here and there from our videos to use in your ministry of teaching. And for those who are basically Israelites that are just coming into their Bibles, and it's also for the veterans as well. So we do it all, but it is not me alone. So we have to give thanks to my wife, Yahuah, and thanking Father for blessing her to come up with this, to allow us to be kind of set apart, but not set apart. That's correct. Because here it is, we're part of the body of Yahuah. So we are to do many purposes on this body. But today, we're going to be talking about Babylon, because this is going to catch everybody up to speed to what is going on here in Mystery Babylon. So be on the lookout for that video. Alert, everyone. It's be coming pretty soon, sometime probably, hopefully by March. And I pray that many of you catch this video of this live stream or after live stream, because this is going to be very, very important for you guys to really see the whole picture of what many of you have missed. My Father wants this to be given to the Israelites, the ones whose names have been written into the book of life, eternal, to get this wisdom. Not everyone's going to get it, but that is something that here it is that is done and operated by Father Yahuah for those individuals. But for those who do catch this live stream or this after stream, it is for you to really pay truly attention, because it is going to explode. And some of you might come to awareness of some of this stuff already going on. But a lot of it you will not even know, because I'm going to have to explain it and tell you, so you can get ready for your future. But before we do that, we are talking now today in this discussion 13 about Babylon and Baal. Babylon and Baal. So if you will, I would not be in my amplified book today. I'll be using my phone. And like I say, I advise everyone to always download your amplified Bible as well, to your liking, to your language, and to make sure you have a dictionary, Merriam dictionary, or whatever you choose. Because here at Intelligent Voices Israelites, we like to also look at words and the way that they are referred, and we also like to pair that with the Bible as well. But now, as we go into study here, here's a paraphrase, as I would say here, about Babylon. Babylon, a capital city of Babylonia. That's right. Babylon is a capital city of Babylonian. Okay. The Babylonians captured and destroyed Jerusalem. Now, many of you who have done your research know about 70 AD and before that it was destroyed. And that Jerusalem and took many people as prisoners, right? So we know that here it is, many went, up into Babylon as they destroyed Jerusalem. And we know that by Daniel prophecy and Isaiah and Ezekiel, Now, also, we find out later that Babylon returns, becomes now a symbol of power. So Babylon now is really not looked at as a physical power, but as a symbol, all right? A symbol of power. So keep that in mind, because many people look at the physical nature of ancient, and then here it is Babylon, and then now going into the physical nature of Babylon. But here it is. We want you to see the symbol, because the symbol or brand is something that therefore people draw to. You know, like if I had this bottle of water here and it had no label on it, then it wouldn't be a brand, but it'd just be a bottle of water, right? But once I put this label on it, right, it becomes now a brand. And here it is, it now be promoted as a brand, right? Given the proper credentials of information of what's in the water, draw people to the brand as saying, okay, it's safe for me or it's cool for me to have. So now that I have said that, it's a symbol now for any powerful, sinful city that is against Yahuah. So realize that in the coming of the one world religion and the one world government, it first have to be elevated as a symbol that everybody is drawn to. Remember in Revelation says the devil actually will take a 4/4 of the world, right? So here it is. In some of our videos, you might find that we have given a number to how many people would actually be saved out of this earth. So here it is. As you see, it is a very, very small number. So here it is. Now here at Intelligent Voices Israelite, we are also showing you that here it is, looking at it as a symbol, then you can truly understand the physicalities of it. But here it is, realize how powerful this symbol have to be. Remember this water I just said, without a label, it's no brand. It's no name, just a bottle of water. But when you put this label on, it becomes what? A brand. So just keep that in mind, everybody, as we go into this study. So we're going to first start out in 2nd Chronicles. 2nd Chronicles, chapter 36. Now, understand we are in a time machine. So right now, you are in a time machine with Intelligent Voices Israelites right now. So here it is. This is going to allow you to catch up very fast to exactly what we're discussing today between the two topics of Babylon and Baal, or Baal. So now, as we here get to 2nd Chronicles, getting stuff popping up in my phone that I don't want. So cut down your volumes to your phone as well, everybody, so we don't pick up the sound chatter. So here is 36. Oh, I got some ads. I just love this. Okay. So now here in 36, we're going to be looking at verse 15 through 21. Now, understand we are in our time machine right now. So read as I read, and many of you who don't like to read can listen. Clearly says, Yahweh, the Yahuah of their ancestors, sent to them by his messengers, raising up early and sinning, because he had compassion on his people and on the dwelling place. But they mocked the messengers of Yahuah and despised his words and scoffed at his prophets until Yahweh's wrath arose against his people, until there was no remedy. Therefore, he brought on them the kings of the Chaldeans, who killed their young men with the sword and in the house of their sanctuaries, and had no compassion on the young men who were virgins, or old men, or gray-headed men. He gave them all into his hands. Now, as we continue here, this is only to, verse 17. We're going to 21. Verse 18. All the vessels of Yahuwah's house, great and small, it says great and small, in the treasures of Yahuwah's house, in the treasures of the king and all his prince. Now, keep this in mind when we see the word prince, because here it is, as we go into this time machine today, everyone, you're going to see what prince really is as you get into your future. Because right now, prince is used as a physical person, but now keep this in mind, the word prince. His prince and all those he brought to Babylon. They burned Yahuwah's house and broke down the wall of Jerusalem and burned all its palaces with fire and destroyed all of its valuable vegetables, right? Or vessels. He carried those who had escaped, here it is, from the sword away to Babylon. See, there's those who didn't get killed got taken to Babylon, only the important. And they were servants to him and his sons until he reigned, here it is, as the kingdom of Persia. So now verse 21, to fulfill Yahuwah's word by Jeremiah's mouth, until the land had enjoyed its Sabbaths, as long as it lay desolate, that means without no one to inhabit or disturb the land, it kept its Sabbath to fulfill 70 years. Now keep that in mind, because here it is, Yah is pointing out, my father is pointing out that many people do not follow the commands, but here it is, always going to inquire the punishment for not following the righteous commands. So here it is, he take you out of the land since you ain't making good use of it. See that? So just keep that in mind. Now that was in 2 Chronicles 36, 15 through 21. Now we are still in this time machine. Go to Jeremiah. Watch this. Now we just read that, right? Watch this. Go to Jeremiah 50. Watch this. This is where many people don't understand the prophecy of Revelations. So here it is. This is going to break it down very easy for you to understand Babylon and Babel, Baal. So here it is. As we hear in Jeremiah 50, we must read all of it, right? Because it's gonna give you exactly what we're teaching here, the clear understanding of your past, your present, and your future. Watch this. The word that Yahweh spoke concerning Babylon. Okay. Now remember, we're keeping this as a symbol, but right now, this is basically being as a physical character. And here it is in its nature. So concerning Babylon, concerning the land of the Chaldeans, by Jeremiah the prophet. So look up Chaldeans and see who they are, okay? Declare among the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and don't conceal, says Babylon has been taken. Baal is disappointed, it says. Modoc is dismayed. Or Moak is dismayed. Her images are disappointed or disappointment. Her idols are dismayed. For a nation comes up out of the north against her which will make her land desolate, and no one will dwell in it. They have fled. They are gone, both men, women, and animals. In the law, in those days, and in that time, Yahweh, the children of Israel, here it is, Yahweh says, the children of Israel will come, and they, the children of Judah, together. They will go on their way weeping, here it is, and will seek Yahweh, their Yahuah. They will inquire concerning Zion with their faces turned towards it, saying, come and join yourselves to Yahweh in an everlasting covenant that will not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountains to hills. They have forgotten their resting place. Now, mountains represent strength, okay? A huge boundary of strength. So keep that in mind. Verse 7, all who found them have devoured them. Their adversaries said, we are not guilty, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitations of righteousness, even Yahweh, here it is, the hope of their ancestors, fled out of the, here it is, fled of their ancestors, fled out of the middle of Babylon, came out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the male goats before the flock. Verse 9. For behold, I will stir up and cause to come up against Babylon. Now understand, we're in a time machine. We just read about ancient Babylon. Here it is. Now we're coming into the brand of Babylon, right? So now in verse 9, come, cause to come up against Babylon, a company of a great nation, or nations with an S, from the north country, and they will set themselves in array against her. She will be taken from there. Their arrows will be as of an expert mighty man. None of them will return in vain. Chaldea will be a prey. All who prey on her will be satisfied, says Yahweh. Invasion, right? Because you are glad, because you rejoice, O you who plunder my heritage. Heritage mean the people, turning them away from Yah, my father. Because you are, here it is, because you are glorified as a heifer that treads out the grain, and you are as strong as horse. Your mother will be utterly disappointed. She who bore you will be confounded. Behold, she will be the least of the nations. Here it is, a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of Yahweh's wrath, she won't be what? Inhabited, but she will be what? Desolated. Everyone who goes by Babylon will be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Verse 14, set yourself in array against Babylon all around, being invaded all around. Keep this in mind. All you who bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrow, for she has sinned against Yahweh. Now remember, she's being punished because of turning away from my father Yah. Verse 15, shout against her all around. She has submitted herself, and she has fallen. Her walls have been thrown down, for it is the vengeance of Yah. Take vengeance on her, as she has done, and do to her. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him who handles the sickle in time of harvest. That's food, right? For fear of oppressing sword, they will each return to their own people, and they will each, here it is, flee to their own lands. Israel is a hunted sheep. The lion, here it is, have driven him away first by a king of Assyria, devoured him, and now last is Nebuchadnezzar's king of Babylon, who has broken his bones. Therefore, Yahweh, the Yahuah of Israel, says, behold, I will punish the king of Babylon in his land as I have punished the king of Assyria. I will be Israel. I will bring Israel again to his posture, and he will feed on Carmel and Barshan. His spirit will be satisfied on the hills of Ephraim and in Gilead. In those days and in that time, says Yahweh, the iniquity of Israel will be sought for. See that? And there will be none. Also, the sins of Judah, and there they won't be found. For I will pardon them whom I leave a remnant. So now as you see this here, this is clearly telling you about the present. And here it is showing you, as we see people today are being set apart and people are being put together. So here it is in verse 21, as I wrap this one up. Go up against the land of Marathim, even against it and against the inhabitants of Pakad, kill and utterly destroy after them, says Yahweh, and do accordingly to all that I have commanded you. So now we got many immigrants that have come into this land and now starting to act up and act right. So you are seeing clearly that in 50, as we're going to continue, because we're going all the way, he says here, a sound of a battle in the land and of great destruction. So now we're seeing that there's a lot of immigrants already starting to fight cops, shoot at people. And here it is. It's right here, because here is my Father want you all to know what is going on, because here it is. He don't leave no one in the dark who truly seeking him. And here it is with their whole heart and can really understand who is a messenger and giving a message. Here it is to raise a flag for you all, because it is, as we continue, you're going to understand this. You're going to start recollecting stuff you've seen on the news or things you done seen out in the world, how this correlate. So now as I get back to verse 23, how the hammer of the whole earth is cut apart and broken, how Babylon has become a desolation among the nations. So here it is, a disrespected nation among the nations. Verse 24, I have laid a snare for you, and you are also taken, Babylon, and you weren't aware. You are found and also caught, because you have fought against Yahweh. Yahweh has opened his armory and has brought out the weapons of his indignations, right? For the Almighty Yahweh has a work to do in the land of the Chaldeans. Now, Chaldeans, I hope most of y'all all have did your research. As I said, do the research on these words, these names. Google and see the Chaldeans are the people of European or Caucasian descent, Italians, Italy, Greek, Poland, British. Okay, all these are the ones. So here it is, and also discovered America. Okay. Verse 26, come against her from the farthest borders, right? Open her storehouses. Then the immigrants, ain't they getting 3,000 in debit cards and getting put up in all of these high-rise apartments? And, you know, we got homeless crisis right here, but America never did that for them. So it's right here. Come against her from the farthest borders. Then they come from the farthest borders. Open her storehouses, cast her up as heat, destroy her utterly, let nothing of her be left. So they just suck up all the resources, and then the war hits. Verse 27. Kill all her bulls, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe to them, for their day has come, the time of their visitation. Listen to those who flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of Yahweh, our Yahuah, the vengeance of his temple people. Verse 29. Call together in anchors against Babylon all those who bend the bow, archers, and encamp against her all around. Let none of it escape. Pay her back according to her work, right? According to all that she has done, do to her, for she has been proud against Yahweh, against the righteous ones of Israelites. Therefore, her young men will fall in her streets. So that means here it is. There is going to be a nation war against nations. And many people are going to be fighting, basically, here it is, for the truth or for the lie. And many people would die on both sides. This is right here. So now as we see this here, therefore, her young men will fall in her streets. All her men of war will be brought to silence. That means military, everybody. In that day, says Yahweh, behold, I am against you, you proud one, says Yahuah. For your day have come, the time that I will visit you. The proud one will stumble and fall, and no one will raise him up. I will kindle a fire in his cities. You see that? I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it will devour all who are around him. Yahweh says, the children of Israel and the children of Judah are oppressed together. Here it is. All who took them captive hold them fast. They refuse to let them go. Now, didn't we just read in Second Chronicles how, therefore, they was taken into Babylon after the fall of Jerusalem? And then now here it is, as that was the past, a little of the past, and now we have come into the present, how we now are seeing the same thing with immigrant powers, open borders, and here it is, we have a crisis in our economic system, which have been purposely tripped off to go beyond what it can handle. And now we're seeing here, as it reads, my father says in verse 33, here it is, Judah and Israel are oppressed together. And here it is, we're held in a country that is not our own. So for all Israelites who have ancestors that have been brought here as slaves, I'm talking to you. Because here it is, also those Israelites who basically knew but didn't know, but now know, who are probably with no melon, you are Israelites too who are coming back under the truth. But here it is. Yah is waking you up to see the invasion taking place right now. Verse 34, their Redeemer is strong. Yahweh is his name. He will thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the earth and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. A sword is on the Chaldeans, says Yahweh, and on the inhabitants of Babylon, on her princess. See that? We read in Second Chronicles, princess, which here it is, wasn't referred to as people, but were referred to as mountains. So now here it is, prince, and on her wise men. So now we're seeing that now we're talking about the inner workings of America. A sword is on the boaster, and they will become fools. A sword is on her mighty men, and they will be dismayed. A sword is on all of your military and all of your vehicles. Horses today are vehicles. And on their chariots and on all their mixed people who are in the middle of her. You see this? A sword. And they will become as women. A sword is on her treasures. Didn't I just say that? The economy. and they will be robbed. Then it says, a drought is on her waters, and they will dry up. Ain't the waters drying up? The Euphrates River, and check around, you look at Colorado Lake and everywhere, water sources are drying up. A drought on her waters, and they will dry up. For it is a land of engraved images, and they are mad over idols. Therefore, the wild animals of the desert in the woods will dwell there. The ostrich will dwell there, and it will be inhabited no more forever. Neither will it be lived in from generation to generation. As when Yah overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and its neighbor cities, Yahweh says, so no man will dwell there, neither will any son or woman live therein. Behold, a person comes from the north, and a great nation and many kings will be stirred up from the uttermost parts of the earth. See this? This is talking about modern time now. Because here it is, Babylon, and we got to look at all of these cities that have been invaded. And the last one is going to be, as we see, America being a target now by Iran. And here it is, many others who form in a coalition. Now in verse 42 of Jeremiah 50, they took up bow and spear. They are cruel and have no mercy. Their voice roars like the sea. They ride on horses. Everyone sit in array as a man to battle against you, daughter of Babylon. The king of Babylon has heard the news of them, and his hands become feeble. Anguish has taken hold of him. See, Biden know about this, that there's a war coming. And many other, all the former presidents knew. But here it is. It's right here. Pains as of a woman in labor, it says. Verse 44, behold, the enemy will come up like a lion from the pride of the Jordan against the strong habitations, for I will suddenly make them run away from it whoever is chosen. I will appoint him over it. For who is like me? Who will appoint me a time? Who is the shepherd who can stand before me? Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh that he has taken against Babylon, and his purpose that he has purposed against the land of Chaldeans. And here it is proposed. Surely they will drag them away, even the little ones of the flock. Surely he will make their habitations desolate over them. Verse 46, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, understand that, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth trembles, and the cry is heard among the nations. So now, as we see here, you are truly in a time machine with me, brothers and sisters, because here it is. We just started in 2 Chronicles 36, 15 through 21, which giving you a good outlook of what ancient Babylon was of the time of Abraham and before. But here it is allowing you to see the truth that this Babylon of modern day time is all the big cities that's affiliated with America's system or the UN. Okay, so keep that in mind. So now, as we read this in Jeremiah, is allowed to see the downing and the falling. Now go to Jeremiah 51. You must read all of it to catch it. So now remember, we just been to the past. Now we're in the martyr time. And now here it is. We done read that in 50. Now we're going into the future. Watch this. Future Babylon. This is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to be like. Yahweh says, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against those who dwell in Li Kama, a destroying wind. I will send to Babylon strangers who will windle her. Here it is. swindle her or break her. I will send to Babylon. See the immigrants? I will send to Babylon strangers. Now, here it is. We got strangers from all over the world, from every part of the border, right? Coming in from Texas, all over, right? Chicago, everywhere, right? Yah says this in Jeremiah 51. I will send to Babylon, that's America, strangers or any other major city that's affiliated with her. Here it is. Strangers who will break her, they will empty her land, for in the day of trouble, they will be against her all around. Against him who bends, let the archer bend his bow, also against him who lifts himself up in his coat of mail. Don't spare her, young men, utterly destroy all her army. See this? They will fall down slain in the land of the Chaldeans and thrust through in her streets. That means dead in the streets. For Israel is not forsaken. So here it is, Israelites that returns back to Yah and take the covenant, okay? The true covenant, okay? And you will know if you're in the true covenant, because here it is, the brother or the sister who is sent unto you by my Father, you will see the difference, okay? So here it is. They will fall down slain in the land of the Chaldeans and thrust through in her streets. For Israel is not forsaken, nor Judah, by his Yah, by Yahweh of, here it is, the Almighty, through their land, though their land is full of guilt against the righteous ones of Israel, flee out of the middle of Babylon, everyone save his own life. Don't be cut off in her iniquities, for it is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render to her a recompensation. Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, who made all the earth drunk of her fornications. The nations have drunk of her wine, therefore the nations have gone mad. Babylon has suddenly fallen and been destroyed. Well for her. Take balm or healing medicine for her pain. Perhaps she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let each go into his own country, for her judgment reaches the heavens and is lifted up even to the skies. Yahweh has produced our righteousness, and come and let declare in Zion the work of Yahweh, Yahuah. So now this is all the ones that done died. Nations against nations, everybody, fighting, all kind of stuff. So here it is. Those who have died in the right name and under the right principles of statutes and ordinances and covenants, here it is. It will be in Yahuwah's name. So here it is. Yahweh has produced a righteousness. Come and let's declare in Zion the work of Yahweh, Yahuah. Make the arrows sharp. Hold the shields firmly. Yahuah has stirred up the spirit of the king of the Medes. Now that's Iran, because his purpose is against Babylon, to destroy it. For it is the vengeance of Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple. This is my Father's will of using Iran to do this to America. That's right. It's right here. Set up a standard against the wall of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set the watchman and prepare the ambush. For Yahweh has both purposed and done that which he spoke concerning the inhabitants of Babylon. You who dwell on many waters, abundant in treasures, your end has come. The measures of your covetousness, Yahweh has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill you with men. See that? That's immigrants. Then the Father said, I will fill you with men, right? So all these immigrants that's coming in, most of them are to invade. They're knowing they're coming over to invade. They're just waiting on the right blow of the horn for them to finish going into full throttle. Right now, police are being attacked. People are being attacked by their homes and stuff by these people, right? So here it is. It is a war. So now as we see here, 14, Yahweh, he says, surely I will fill you with men as with the canister, like a canister of worms, and they will lift up a shout against you. See, this is what's coming, y'all. He has made the earth by his power. He has established the world by his wisdom. By his understanding, he has what? Stretched out. When he utters his voice, there is a roar of water in the heavens, and he causes the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He makes lightning for the rain and brings the wind out of his treasury. Every man has become brutish, without knowledge. Every goldsmith is disappointed by his image, for his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, a work of delusions. In the time of their visitations, they will perish. The portion of Jacob is not like these, for he is the former of all things, including the tribes of his inheritance. Yahweh is Yahuah. You are my battle axe and weapons of war. With you, I will break the nations into pieces. See, my Father needs all returning Israelites to be on deck, to be ready to stand up without blemish. Because here it is a brewing war coming. Like I say, this time machine had put us now from the past to the modern, and now letting you look at the future of these events of what is about to happen. So here it is, as we continue here in verse 21, he says, I will be using my Israelites, here it is, as the battle axe, weapons of war. With you, I will break the nations from the mouth, from the heart. See, because we are filled with the truth of my Father. With you, I will break into pieces the horse and his riders. See this? We'll put to death wars. With you, I will break in pieces the chariot and him who rides them therein. With you, I will break in pieces man and woman. With you, I will break in pieces the old man and the youth, or the young man. With you, I will break into pieces the young man and the virgins. You see this? Verse 23, with you I will break into the pieces the shepherds and his flock. With you I will break into pieces the farmer and his yoke. With you I will break into pieces governors and deputies. Now that's securities, right? I will render to Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, says Yahweh. Behold, I am against you, destroying mountain, says Yahweh, which destroys all the earth. I will stretch out my hand on you, roll you down from the rocks, and will make you a burnt mountain. You see this? This is the truth. This is your future. For anyone that's want to stay with Hallel or the devil, we are basically reading to you right now what your future is, for you saying that here it is, you want to keep Jesus, Lord and God, and here it is, you want to keep going to church and you want to keep being baptized. Basically, here it is, you are basically falling into Babylon's deep sleep. So as my Father continues here, one sec, everyone. He allowed you to see in verse 27, set up a standard in the land, blowing a trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her. This is Russia. This is Iraq. This is Assyria. This is Iran. Here it is. Appoint a marshal against her. Cause the horses to come up as the rough canister of worms. So these are the countries that is about to attack America, who is forming a coalition. Okay? Ashkenaz is referred to Germans, Turks. Okay? So here it is. Prepare against her the nations, the kings of the Medes. So here it is. Their overseers are basically Iran, its governors, and all its securities, and all the land of their dominions is coming up against this Babylon. The land trembles and is in pain for the purpose of Yahweh against Babylon stand, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitants. The mighty men of Babylon have stopped fighting. They remain in their strongholds. Their might has failed. They have become as women. Her dwelling places are set on fire. Her bars are broken. You see that? The stronghold of America is broken now, that it used to have on all these other countries. One runner will run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taking on every quarter. That means completely take over. In 32, so the pastures are sieged. They have burned the reeds with fire. The men of war are frightened. So now as we see this here, everyone, this is allowing you to see the terror that is coming in the future, which is right around the corner. Now, I haven't even only gotten to only verse 33. So now here it is as I continue here. For Yahweh, Almighty Yahuah of Israel says, the daughter of Babylon is like a thrashing floor at the time when it is trodden. Yet a little while, and a time of harvest comes for her. You see that? It says, yet a little while, signifying 1 year and a half. So here it is. Put 25 and get your year and a half, which would probably put you into year 2026. Okay. So understand this. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, has devoured me. He has crushed me. He has made me an empty vessel. He has become like a monster, swallowed me up. He has filled his mouth with my, here it is, desires. He has cast me out. May the violence done to me and to my flesh be on Babylon. The inhabitants of Zion would say, and may my blood be on the inhabitants of the Chaldeans. And will Jerusalem say, therefore Yahweh says, behold, I will plead your cause and take vengeance for you. I will dry up her sea and make her fountains dry. Ain't that happening in the Euphrates River and around the world? Babylon will become a heap, a dwelling place for jackals, and astonishment and a hissing without inhabitants. For they will roar together like young lions. They will growl as lion cubs. When they are heated, they will make their feast, and I will make them drunk, that they may rejoice and sleep a perpetual sleep and not wake up, says Yahweh. I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with male goats. How Shiach is taken, how the praise of the whole earth ceased, how Babylon has become a desolation among nations. The sea has come up on Babylon. Here it is. She is covered with the multitudes of the waves. Her cities have become a desolation, a dry land and a desert, a land in which no man dwells, no son of man passes by it. I will execute judgment on Baal and Babylon. You see that? I will execute Baal or Baal on Babylon or in Babylon. And I will bring out of his mouth that which he has swallowed up. The nations will not flow anymore to him. Yes, the wall of Babylon will fall. My people, go away from the middle of her, and each of you save yourselves from Yahweh's fiery anger. Don't let your hearts faint. Don't fear for the news that will be heard in the land. For news will come 1 year, and after that, in another year, news will come. You see this? And violence in the land, ruler against ruler. Now we see Hamas fighting with Israel and Damascus and mostly all of Tel Aviv, which they don't show you on TV here in America, is because they don't want you to know the truth. Because here it is, this is what's going on right now over there. So now when we see here in verse 47, therefore, behold, the days come that I will execute judgment on the engraved images of Babylon, and her whole land will be confounded, and all her slain will fall in the middle of her. Then the heavens and the earth and all that is therein will sing for joy over Babylon. For the destroyer will come to her from the north, says Yahweh, as Babylon has caused the slain of Israelites to fall. So all the so-called African Americans and everyone who basically is a true Israelite have been persecuted by this Babylon. And here it is. So the slain of all of the land will fall at Babylon. You who have escaped the sword, go. Don't stand still. Remember Yahweh from afar, and let Jerusalem come into your mind, right? We are confounded because we have heard, here it is, confusion have covered our faces, for strangers have come into the sanctuary of Yahweh's house. See this? So here it is. Therefore, behold, the days come, says Yah, that I will execute judgment on her engraved image, and through all of her land, the wounded will groan. See this? This is a war, nations against nations. Matthews, read verse 24, chapter 24. Verse Jeremiah 51, 54. The sound of cries come from Babylon, and of great destruction from the land of Chaldeans. Still talking about the same place, or the places. For Yahweh lays Babylon waste. This is the time of the Gentiles, and destroys out of her the great voice. Their waves roar like many waters. The noise of their voice is uttered. So remember the falling away that is spoken of in Revelations and also Daniel. This is the same falling away. People will fall away from the churches, but here it is, still will not fall into grace or the glory with Father Yahuah. Why? Because here it is, they are basically individuals that are completely corrupted. They don't see the difference. Verse 56, for the destroyer has come on her, even on Babylon, her mighty men are taken. Their bows are broken into pieces, for Yahweh is a Yahuah of retribution. He will surely repay. Verse 57, I will make her princess. Now remember, we saw princess as a mountain. And then we see princess as people, as it's saying again here in 51, what we read in Jeremiah 50. So now prince is now a person. So here it is, it's saying now, understand this. I would make her prince, her wise men, her governors, her security soldiers, and her mighty men drunk. They will sleep a perpetual sleep and not wake up. So that means they dead. These are people that's dead to understanding, dead to understand what is going on, right? So he says, whose name is Yahweh? Yahuah. Yahweh says the wide walls of Babylon will be utterly overthrown. Didn't that happen? Didn't that happen already? Hamas, okay? And her high gates will be burned with fire. The people will labor for vanity, and the nations for the fire. See, that fire represent chaos. And they will be weary. The word which Jeremiah the prophet commanded Sarah, the son of Nerith, the son of Masharai, and when he went with Zeradat, the king of Judah, to Babylon, in the 4th year of his reign, here it is, Jeremiah wrote in a book all the evil that should come on Babylon, even all these words that are written concerning Babylon. See this? Jeremiah said, when you come to Babylon, then see that you read all these words and say, Yahweh, you have spoken concerning this place to cut it off, that no one will dwell in it, neither man or animal or woman, but that it will be desolated forever. It will be when you have finished reading this book that you shall bind a stone to it and cast it into the middle of the Euphrates. Now, didn't the Euphrates dry up? So here it is. This book that Jeremiah thrown into the Euphrates is laying on the ground right now. Here it is, that rock. The page is gone, but here it is, that rock tied to it. So here it is. He says, it will be when you have finished reading it that you bind a stone to it and cast it into the middle of the Euphrates. Then you shall say, this will Babylon sink. This is how Babylon will sink and will not arise again because of the evil that I will bring on her. You see that? Or because the evil she had brung on herself. And they will be weary. And this far as the word of Jeremiah goes. Now, as we see this here, this is clearly allowing you to see that time machine, everyone, just in the instance of the past, now the present, and then into the future, right? And so here it is. It now takes us to Revelations, which opens up more about Babylon and why America is the major factor. So now let's go here to Revelations. Watch this. And we're going to read all of 17. Because here it is. You must have character. And just like I said, this becomes a brand when you put a label on it. The future and modern Babylon is here today. And here it is. It's being branded as the superpower. And here it is. Everybody is running to this superpower, right? Everybody want to come to America, right? So now here it is. Now you putting two and two together, and it's making absolute sense. Not four, but here it is. It's taking you beyond that number. But now, as we read all of Revelation 17, one of the seven, here it is, angels who had the seven bowls came and spoke with me, saying, come here, I will show you the judgment of the great prostitute who sits on many waters, with whom the kings of the earth committed sexual immorality. Those who dwell in the earth were made drunken with the wine of her sexual immorality. He carried me away in the spirit into a wilderness. I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet-colored beast, full of blasphemous names, Jesus, Lord, God, Buddha, okay, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was dressed in purple and scarlet and decked in gold and precious stones and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup filled of abomination and the impurities of the sexual immoralities of the earth. And on her forehead a name was written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of the abominations of the earth. Verse 6, I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints of Israelites and with the blood of the martyrs of those who contested Jesus, right? Which basically, here it is, means Yahweh, not Jesus. When I saw her, I wondered with great amazement. The angel said to me, why do you wonder? I will tell you the mystery of the woman and the beast that carries her, which has the 7 heads and the 10 horns. Now keep the 10 horns in mind, everybody. The beast that you saw was and is not and is about to come up. See this? Is about to come up. So what I'm telling you here is Intelligent Voices Israelite. This is the insight about what is about to happen here before we even go into the alert that is about to come out soon too in a video. So now here it is. As you see this, the beast that you saw was and is about to come up out of the abyss and go into destruction. See that? This is what's about to happen. Those who dwell on the earth and whose names have not been written in the book of eternal life from the foundations of the world will, here it is, marvel when they see that the beast was and is not and shall be present and is. Here is the mind that has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains. Remember, this America is dirt sitting on a mountain made to brand itself. You see, and that's why I use the water bottle invitation, because here it is without that label on it. It belongs to nobody but the bottle. But when you give it a label, a title, it becomes now elevated. So now when we see here in verse 9, here is the mind, and here it is 7 mountains on which the woman sits. So 7 other kingdoms, 7 other nations, 7 other countries also share their power with America. So here it is. They are the 7 kings. 5 have fallen. See that? The one is, right? And then the other has not yet come. You see that? So here it is. We're under the old administration of earth with these evil beings in rulership. And now here it is. The dragon himself is going to actually become, here it is, out the closet. And here it is, into public view. And here it is, holding back nothing destructive. That's right. And then verse 12, the 10 horns that you saw are 10 kings who have received no kingdoms yet. So now when the new election comes, now you can see how this all fits together here with Israel and peace, security and peace, right? So now here it is, the 10 horns that you saw are 10 kings who have received no kingdom as yet, but they receive authority as kings with the beast. Peace agreement only lasts for 1 year, everybody. Okay? That is coming into the focus right around the corner. Okay? Because this coming election, I'm telling you, it's going to be very crazy. It's going to kick off. Here it is. The Super Bowl of destruction. That's right. Super Bowl of destruction. And if everybody don't have on the right cleats and the right color, which is all white, standing with Yahuah, then you are on a defeated team. That's right. But everybody will be at this event, or everybody will be watching. That's right, scoping at this time. So now here it is, verse 12, Revelation 17, verse 12. The 10 horns that you saw are the 10 kings who have received no kingdom as of yet, but they receive authority of kings with the beast for 1 hour. So we got a dragon and we got a beast, right? Dragon give his power to the beast, to one of the beasts. Okay, 5 have come, 5 have fallen, but 1 is and 1 is to come, right? So now here it is. These have one mind and they give their power and authority to the beast. These will war against the Lamb, and the Lamb will overcome them. That means all the Israelites that choosing not to be a part of this one world government, one world religion, will be with the Lamb, which is Yahuah, Yeshua. And here it is, it says, King of Kings, and those who are with him are called chosen and faithful, righteous priests. That's right. Verse 15, he said to me, the waters which you saw where the prostitutes sit are peoples. That's right. Are peoples. And they are a multitude of peoples by their nations and their languages. That's right. The 10 horns which you saw in the beast, these will hate the prostitute. You see that? Will make her desolate. Will strip her naked. will eat her flesh and will burn her utterly with fire. You see this? For Yahuah has put in their hearts to do what he has in mind. Now, this goes back to the immigrants that's coming into the earth. Then we just show the modern day. Now we are showing you the future, because here it is. There's going to be a continuation. And then it says here, these will hate the prostitute, will make her desolate, will strip her naked, will eat her flesh, and will burn her utterly with fire. For Yahuah has put in their hearts to do what he has in mind, to be of one mind and to give their kingdom to the beast until the words of Yah should be accomplished, until the gospel is spread throughout the whole world to everybody who's meant to be grafted in by my Father Yahuah. Here it is, so shall this happen, even on those who are not aware or what's about to happen. For Yah has put it in their hearts. Verse 18, the women whom you saw is the great city, which reign over the kings of the earth. So all the cities that stands like a woman in character is basically have been the ones that share most of all with the dragon and the beasts. So now as we see this in 17, this takes us to Revelations 18, where you see now because it says Babylon the Great is what? Destroyed. After these things, I saw another angel coming down out of the sky, having great authority. The earth was illuminated with his glory. That means protection. He cried with a mighty voice, fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great, and she has become a habitation of demons. Ain't that here already? People, witchcraft, tarot cards, horoscopes, birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's, right? So here it is. Fallen is Babylon the Great, and she has become a habitation of demons, a prison of unclean spirits, right? Because people ain't looking for the Bible, salvation. They're looking for the devil of hellation. So now here it is, in a prison of every unclean and hateful bird or being. So now we're seeing for verse 3. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her sexual immorality. The kings of the earth committed sexual immorality with her, and the merchants of the earth grew rich from the abundance of her luxury, right? Many people came here just because they can get rich. I heard another voice, but not the Hebrew Israelite. I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. See that? Not everybody can go. My people, that you have no participation in her sins, and that you don't receive her plagues. For her sins have reached to the sky, and Yah has remembered her iniquities. Return to her just as she returned, and repay her double as she did, and according to her work in the cup which she mixed for her double. However much she glorified herself and grew, here it is, prideful. So much gave her of a torment, so much gave her a torment and mourning. For she says in her heart, I sit as queen and am no widow, and will in no way see no mourning or death. Therefore, in one day her plagues will come, death, mourning, and famine. And she will be utterly burned with fire, for the Almighty Yahuah, who has judged her, is strong. The kings or the rulers of the earth who committed sexual immorality and lived wrong with her will weep and wail over her when they look at the smoke of her burning, standing far away for the fear of her torment, saying, wow, the great city Babylon, the strong city, for your judgment has come in 1 hour. The merchants of the earth weep and mourn over her, for no one buys their merchandise anymore. Because this is at the time of the chip, and this is at the time of war. because here it is, people are going to be looting, and you see looting going on right now at a high level of looting, right? So here it is, this is further going to escalate. So now in verse 1 second, everyone. So as we see this here, and somebody calling my phone. Let me see. Let me tell my 1 moment. So we're gonna finish this, y'all. Let's see here. Got to put my phone on busy. All right, so now as we see this here, we get a very good look here now at Babylon, and to understand this time travel, which is from the past to the present and now the future, and it's allowing us to see clearly that here, as we see what Yah is showing us in chapter 16, and now we're in 18, in verse 6, he says, return to her just as she returned. And then here it is, we're going on down to 9. He says, the kings of the earth who committed sexual immorality and lived wrong with her and weep. Okay, so I must was father. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Going to 18, verse 18, Revelations 18. And cry out as they looked at the smoke of her burning, saying, what is like the great city? They cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping, mourning, saying, woe, woe, the great city in which all, here it is, who had their ships in their seas were made rich by reason of her great wealth. For she is made, here it is, desolate in 1 hour. Rejoice over her, heavens. And here it is, saints, apostles, and priests. Here it is, almighty angels took up a stone like a great milestone and cast it into the sea, saying, violence, here it is, will Babylon, the great city, be thrown down by violence and will be found no more at all. You see that? So by violence, here it is, wars and violence. The voice of harpists, here it is, flute players, will not be heard no more in her. The light of the lamp will shine no more in her. Verse 23. 24. In her was found the blood of the prophets and of the Israelite saints and of all who have been slain on the earth by her. So now as we see this, everybody, and I will leave y'all to actually, here it is, come back so I can actually finish up talking about Baal, because I wanted to actually read that, but I have a lot of other things coming into focus here, and I went over my time, and I'm so sorry for that. And but you see how big this message of discussion was today, and here it is, how we see this time travel that we have done for our past, our present, and our future as we are going forward into 25, 26, right? And we have seen the transitioning of Babylon, how it had come from being physical to now as being a symbol, set as a brand, right? And here it is worshiper in Baal or Moab or Ashery, because we see many churches set up, which are the pillars for deception. And people are led into these buildings under the pretense of thinking that there's salvation of righteousness there, but there is no salvation of righteousness. It's hellation. So here it is, hellation. And we see that many people are becoming demonified. And we are seeing that even Yah, my father, have pointed out, giving you a great look to see what everything is doing right now in this world and how many people are being so sleep, a perpetual sleep. So I will have you all read Baal, basically write down Judges 2, because I was going to read that, and verse 10 through 17. Then you're going to write down 1 Kings 18, 16 through 39. Jeremiah 11, and that's going to be 13 through 17. So I think my father wanted you all to go on and continue on here by reading Baal, so that way you can fit and see that here it is, both are together, Babylon Baal, because that is basically the brand that is being pushed into the world now, all types of deception, Babylon Baal. And many people are becoming more astray from the word, but here it is. We're not here for everybody, because we just read in the word that Yah is not here for everybody. Only true Israelites know the true count of who and how many of us are actually leaving here and basically coming back with Father to destroy the place. So read those, everybody. And I am so sorry for stumbling a little bit here, but I went over my time for my due time for discussion today, but I do apologize. And I leave you guys with a little bit of homework. That's Judges 2:10 through 17, 1 Kings 18, 16 through 39, Jeremiah 11 through 13 through 17, no, through 18. So until next time, be on the lookout for the video that is coming up. We might be doing that in the morning because it's going to be pretty long. So that live stream probably will be like 9 a.m. in the morning, Arizona time. So, and if you can't get up that early, everyone, just catch the after stream. I'm your brother, Yisrael Yeshombiyah. I send my love, my greetings. Also, from my wife as well, Yisrael Yamaikaya. She's not here right now, but she's around. And we just know that a lot of people are going to benefit from this here today. And we still our shalom, shaloms to you in Yah's name. Amen.